What's going on? Peace, light, and love. The divine downloads is real out here in these particular streets, family. And so I'm sitting back reflecting on all of the messages that I've been getting, right, while I'm sitting out here. And I'm looking at the waterfall here. And then I'm looking at the waterfall over there. And then I'm looking over there at that tree that's holding on to the leaves. And then I'm seeing these squirrels that's going about. And there was one particular squirrel that really stood out that had this orange type of hue to it. Almost similar to that tree over there. But then I'm looking at these other trees, and one of the things that like really started sparkling out here, right, is that green moss that's coming up off of these trees, right, on the sides of them and everything. And typically I walk past it and I pay it really not too much mind and everything, but it's just been really standing out in some profound ways. And so many of us, especially myself, I can speak for, have been going through a lot of relationship changes and everything, right? And like the mask has been falling off, like Neptune coming up out of Pisces and going into Aries, because see, that whole age of Pisces is the age of deception, right? And so it's shifting into Aries is where these masks begin falling off. But this is about us and the life that we are ordering moving forward. And so that tree that's over there that went through the whole entire winter time, missed fall when the leaves were supposed to fall off and everything, and held on to them leaves like I was talking about earlier, right? And so now we're about to approach the springtime and it's still holding on to them old ass leaves. And them old ass leaves is holding the color of orange. Now this has to do with the sacral chakra and everything. And that sacral chakra energy is about like our emotional connections and everything, right? And that water that's moving downstream over here, that water, it deals with our emotional state as well. And then that squirrel that was coming through with that hue of orange that was coming through. See, these was all connected. This is all a part of that divine cipher. And if you got your eyes open, you can catch these messages that's out here in nature, reminding us about our capacity to have healthy connections within our lives. And so that tree that's holding on to them old leaves and everything, this is really speaking to us like holding on to a lot of relationships, a lot of dynamics that's no longer serving us, that we need to be re-examining. And then that water moving downstream and everything, it's really speaking to us, making sure that that's the way that our emotional connections go. They flow. It's downstream. It's not an upstream type of energy. You understand? See, this is about us moving out of a lot of these past life dynamics and everything. And so when I was pulling these cards, it was bringing me into a lot of the past life issues, a lot of cards that spoke to healing relationships and connections with our parents and in the past, and a lot of the things that they showed us without our lives and everything. And for me, my parents, they showed me a lot of fuckery, a lot of foolishness, a lot of shenanigans out here in these particular streets, no doubt about it. And really, a lot of the dynamics that I've observed growing up, it has absolutely impacted the way that I do relationships and how I navigate situations and everything. And so here I am at 50, waking up to the fact that this is the way that I've been operating and making these adjustments as I move forward. And so that tree over there holding on to them orange leaves that should have been dropped in the fall time, as we're moving forward into the springtime, those leaves is going to get pushed away and there's going to be some new green ones that's coming in. And when them green ones come in, these waterfalls is letting us know about how the emotional flow needs to go as we move forward. And so even though you find yourself in turbulent times, that squirrel coming through reminding us to believe in ourselves and our ability to be able to overcome these obstacles and challenges. Because while I'm looking at this water pattern and everything, and it's going over like a lot of broken down trees, a lot of rocks, a lot of earth energies and everything, right? Speaking to the ebb and flow of our financial situations, of our relationships, of a lot of the dynamics within our everyday lives, of all of the things that we manifested in our life, like we win some, we lose some and everything, right? But where's that emotion? Where's the emotional state at during those particular times of turbulence? See, one of them things them Buddhas, they talk about is like being in the middle of the storm and everything, and all of the chaos is going down and everything, and they holding their peace and everything, right? See, this is when you fall into that level of true mastery, like when that shit's going down, like where your mind at, where your head at. It's about taking the lessons that we have throughout our lives and turning it into wisdom. We ain't looking for nobody to blame, our parents to blame. Like, they did the best that they could. Like my family, they showed me a lot of shenanigans. You understand what I'm saying? All of the ways not to deal with a situation, I got those lessons too, no doubt. And I had to evolve past a lot of those things because that's the best that they knew. See, they ain't had no internet where people was dropping knowledge and helping them along their journey to be able to navigate a lot of the foolishness and debunk a lot of the madness that we've been in. They didn't have that shit, but we do. We holding the knowledge today. And there ain't no reason for us to not be able to move past a lot of these blocks. And so that tree over there is just coming through, reminding us about how we've been holding on to a lot of old shit, and we have no reason to do so. Because things need to be moving downstream now. Like, we in this place where we have the capacity to make that happen. And so the divine is coming through in a powerfully and a profoundly auspicious way, checking in and reminding us to hold our peace during these particular times, for us to release these relationships that's no longer serving us, and our connections moving forward. Make sure that they're beneficial, that they're supportive, and that they're reciprocating as we move forward in our lives. Because life has a way